Hi, I'm April with Just Sew, located in Fort Thomas, Kentucky, and today I'm going to talk to you about foundation paper piecing. We're making this video specifically for people that are signing up for our super cute paper piecing club that we're doing, but I'm also going to be giving you an introductory step-by-step how to do foundation paper piecing if you're a brand new beginner. I'm breaking it down for you. So you can watch this video even if you're not in our club. But I'm also going to be specifically referencing the materials that people are going to receive if they have signed up for our club. In our super cute paper piecing club, these are the projects that we'll be doing. The apple wristlet, the butterfly crossbody bag, the vintage apron pouch, the fabric bowl, rain, rain, go away purse, and the garden tote. So we're using Crease Randall's book called Super Cute Paper Piecing, and in here she has some really amazing projects, little bags and little things that we can use for like bowls and little wristlets, little purses, things like that, but each using a paper piecing project, foundation paper piecing. So I'm going to show you all the tools that you'll need to make the different projects. We're going to start. The first kit you're going to get is for the easiest projects that we think in the book, and it's this really cute little fabric bowl. You can use it to hold your thread, different sewing notions, or you can use it on your coffee table for candy or things like that. And that's the project I'm going to show you today on the video. And then we're going to work all the way up to what we thought was the hardest project in the book, which is this one. It's called Rain, Rain, Go Away, and it's this awesome tote bag. So there's a lot of extra sewing in this as well. You'll do the foundation paper piecing for like the emblem on the project, and then there'll be different sewing techniques that you'll do to make the project, to complete the project. Okay, so the tools that we really like using for foundation paper piecing are over here. We have the add a quarter rulers, and we're if you're in the club, we have a starter kit, and in the starter kit we have these rulers, we have a pressing roller, and we have the actual foundation papers, and I'll talk about all of these. Okay, so the rulers have this really cool raised 1/4 inch. I'm going to show you how to use that, and then this tapers down. We're going to use that edge of it too. For this first project, we're only going to use the short one, but we do sell the combo because for the bigger projects, you'll need the longer ruler. And this is the roller presser, and I'll show you how that works. You'll also need perhaps a seam ripper. If you're like me, you'll need a seam ripper, and then you'll need a rotary cutter and a friction pen, like something that you would iron off, and then just a regular ink pen and paper scissors because you're going to be cutting paper. Now, in this book, when you get it, in the back, it's going to have, you have to cut this out. So this has all the templates that you're going to need for all the different projects. So there's two sides to it. And it explains in the book how to use that, how to find which ones you're going to need for which project. But what you're going to have to do is copy these onto the foundation paper. So you'll have to put these in your printer and then put the section that you need of this paper onto your printer and then print it out. And the book gives you really clear instructions about how many copies you'll need of each thing. So for this first project, this is an example. I copied it out and then I cut it out for each of the little pieces, and then it tells you on the pattern itself how many you need to cut of what, like the lightweight interfacing, the batting, and then this one has the print dot and the stripe dot, that kind of thing. So it's very clear. It tells you what to cut out. So when you get your kit, it will look something like this. It'll have the fabric you need and the different interfacings you need. But that's it. It won't have the foundation paper in it. You'll need to buy the starter kit if you want that. Okay, so then for the first kit, I recommend keeping all of your things in a project bag or something like this, or maybe you have like a like a bin, like a plastic bin with a lid, because there's a lot of small parts and pieces to these projects. And I wanted to show you what it looks like when you copy something from the template page onto the foundation paper. So it's like a kind of an opaque see-through paper. Okay, for this first project, you have to make 6 of the same thing, and I didn't want to waste 6 of my papers, so I just traced mine instead. Okay, so you can trace it, because this is see-through, you can lay it over top of the paper and then just trace it. So now I'm going to take you over to my sewing machine and we're going to get started. Okay, so in this really great book, Super Cute Paper Piecing by Crease Randall, she has a pictorial how-to on pages 8 and 9 of the different steps to walk through, and it's really good. But I also, if you're like me, this was super hard for me to learn at the beginning, so I think a video is also helpful to see the step-by-step. So that's where you want to go if you want to refer back to the basic steps. And then she just gives the pictures in here are beautiful, and the step-by-step instructions are really great. Okay, so the project we're going to work with today is this fabric bowl. Now, there's not a lot of paper piecing in this project. It's every single petal, okay? So there's 6 different petals. That's paper pieced. This is just the sewing, and she gives great instructions on how to do all that. But this is the finished product, and this is what a petal looks like after it's been paper pieced. Okay, so I'm going to work today to show you how to make this. As you can see in this, she has every other petal is a different design pattern. So we're going to do a gingham. It's very clear what the right side is of this. When you get to the solid, it's very difficult to tell. You can't really tell the right side or the wrong side on the solid, so it doesn't matter on that one. Okay. You also need to have 6 of these pieces of fabric, and when it comes to paper piecing, foundation paper piecing, it's just an estimation. So I didn't measure these and cut them out. It's not precise. You just have a stack. What I like to do is just have a stack of the papers or the fabric bigger than the paper so that I know it's going to be big enough to fill that spot. I traced this triangle onto the foundation paper. Okay, and then I cut it out on the dotted line. And here we go. This is our 1/4 inch seam allowance. As you can see, these numbers some of these lines are very close to each other. But if you're brand new to foundation paper piecing, I want you to take a second and look at all the different numbers. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is over here, this little guy, 7, 8, 9. Okay, those are important. All right, so what we do is you want to take the paper and turn it wrong side up and get the wrong side of your fabric, and we are going to pin them together. And you might say, wrong sides together? That seems weird. And that is true. Just trust me. Okay, so when you flip it over, you can tell that this fabric is going to cover that whole number 1 piece. So if you need to, you could hold it up to the light to test it and see, but it's very clear to us what it's doing here. Okay, so this is our first piece. So that is going to be the largest piece of this. You can tell. That's what it's going to end up being, okay? When you are doing foundation paper piecing, you want to shorten your stitch length. I put mine down to 1.8 because we want to have some small stitches here. See how small those lines are? We want as many stitches in there as we can so it holds it together. And also, when it comes time, it's easier to rip the paper off. Okay, so let's get started. All right, here we go. So the first thing we're going to do is find the line that goes between 1 and 2. So you see this very teeny tiny line right there. Then we're going to fold the paper back over. We're going to crease it over the ruler. Okay? This paper is going to get folded and unfolded many times in this process. Then we're going to take our ruler and flip it over so that this edge, the lip that's on this ruler, is hooked over the paper. Then we're going to trim whatever's on the other side of that 1/4 inch. Okay? Now we're going to flip it back over so the fabric is facing up and unfold that paper. Now we're going to take one of our fabric pieces and put it right sides together with the next one. We're going to line up the edges, and that's going to be our seam. Just hold it in place, or you can pin it if you want. Now we're going to flip it over again so the paper is up, and we are going to sew on the line between 1 and 2. Now I changed my foot so it's more of an open foot so I can see where my needle's going. So I put my presser foot down, and I'm also going to use my hand crank to bring my needle down to make sure that I have it lined up right, because this is such a tiny line. I want to make sure I'm in the right spot. And I'm just sewing on that very tiny line. Okay, now that I've made my first seam, I'm going to take this pin out, and I won't need it the rest of the time. Okay, so I've stitched. Now I'm going to flip so the fabric is up, open the fabric to the seam, and then I'm going to press it with my rolling presser. Okay. Flip it back over so the paper is up. Now I'm going to find the next line. So we just did 1 to 2, now we need to do 3. So see that teeny tiny little 3? It's another line. It's right here, okay? So I'm going to put the ruler, the flat edge of the ruler on the line, flip the paper back over it to crease it. Keep the ruler, use the 1/4 inch lip, go over the paper, hook it onto that paper. Now I'm just going to trim all this off. Now if you are someone who doesn't like to waste, who likes to keep scraps, just get over it, because this is going to be a little bit of a waste kind of a project. Now we're going to flip it back over so the fabric side is up, and we're going to unfold that paper. Okay, now this is our new flat edge. Now if you're like me, I was really really hard for me to understand this. So this is why I'm doing it so step by step with you. So I hope this helps. So now I'm taking the next piece of fabric. I'm going to lay it right sides together and line it up with this seam. And you have to make sure, these are such tiny pieces that I know that this piece is going to be big enough. In the projects in the future, you're going to have bigger pieces. So you're going to need to make sure that this piece is big enough for to cover the section back here. But see how tiny this section is? I know that it's going to be big enough to cover that section. Okay, so we made sure we went right sides together. We made sure the edges are lined up. Now we're flipping it back over so the paper is up. And we're going to sew on the number 3. I'm going to put my hand crank down. Okay, so we did our stitching, and now we're going to flip it over, open, press. So now we're going to flip it over and use our ruler to trim off all of it. So line your ruler up with the dotted line on the outside of the paper. And there you go. So now just follow the rest of the instructions in the book to sew these together, and you'll end up with your cute little fabric bowl. Thanks for watching. I hope that helped you get the basics of foundation paper piecing. If you are interested in signing up for this club, you can go to our website at justsewstudio.com. The link is below. You can click on subscriptions. If it's too late to sign up for the club, you're welcome to go to our website and purchase these products individually. And I hope you have a great day.